if you want to see the companies attending the career day now, you can see it in DiggerNet events career day, and you will see three different days, three separate days. And when you click on the day, you can see the list of companies attending that day. We will soon release the matrix as well. It's called Majors Matrix. So it's basically to see what companies are hiring your major. And we are working on the format now, and soon it will be released as well. So here's what it looks like, the Brazen platform. For you to be able to have an efficient, really to make most of the events, please upload your resume in the system so employers are able to see it. So the dark blue box in the center of the presentation is showing your toolbar. So basically, it is for you to be able to navigate between lobby, history, and I'll talk about them in a moment. Your lobby on the right hand side looks like here. This is a sample, right? So you on the day of, for the first day, you will see over 100 companies here in the lobby, and the companies that you're interested in, you can basically click enter, and you are in their booth. When you are in their booth, you start chatting with each other. The employer greets you, welcome to our booth. Are you interested in a specific position, etc. You start chatting, and then as you can see here with the arrow, you can see how much time is left as well for your conversation, because students are able to have 10 minutes with the employers, but employers are able to extend this time frame if they are willing to talk more and learn more about the student. This is for our students to be able to have enough time with most of the companies and to be fair with the amount of time employers are spending with the students as well. Uh, the chat is the initial conversation. Then the employer sends students, the rep sends students a notification to video chat. When you accept, whatever you see on the right hand side is what it's look like. So it's basically like a Zoom, right, or Teams or any other similar systems. You are able to video chat. Again, you can see the time remaining, and then you continue your conversation over video chat. And in the meanwhile, the resume you have already submitted can be seen by the representative. On the day of, you might have, hopefully you will not have any issues with connection, right? This platform is this platform is designed for virtual fairs, so this is their job, and this is a great platform for this event. But this is technology, so you might still have connection problems, right? If that happens, and if you're in the system, but if you're not in the system and if you have a connection problem, we have limited number of computers in Ballroom DE, or you can call ITS Service Center as well. They will be available that day for your questions. You can reach us out. This is our phone numbers here. You can email our general email address, right? careercenter@mines.edu. You can chat with us in DiggerNet. Or if you are already in the system in Brazen, and if you have specific questions about the event, about Brazen, etc. Apparently you don't have a connection problem, you are in Brazen, but you have other questions, definitely not resume reviews on the day of, you can come find us in the Career Center booth. It's called Career Center Help Desk, so we will be one of these boxes on the lobby when you're scrolling down to see all the companies. So let's talk about a couple of things about proactive steps to have a great career day experience. The things here that will help you, the things we listed here that are the things that will help you to prepare yourself before the event, which also helps you manage stress as well. So please know how Brazen works. Please understand that we have a separate workshop for Brazen, and we will also host two more workshops, one more workshop. So we had two this week. We have one more next week, and another one in October before the third day of Career Day. So please try to make one of these workshops. Please understand we have different companies. Different companies are represented each day of Career Day. So if you are planning to go to first day, which you might because there are over 100 companies there, please be prepared next week with the workshops. Don't expect to do the third week of workshops, right? We would like you to full advantage on September 15 and 16, where you will see different companies than the October one. So please do the workshops next week. So know how Brazen works, list your target audiences and industries you're wanting to connect with. Use the majors matrix, DiggerNet, company website, and LinkedIn as resources for preparation information. After looking at the majors matrix, create your strategy, like what companies are you willing to visit and have a conversation with. Also know if they have a job in DiggerNet or an internship in DiggerNet, that will be part of your conversation. Prepare your 30-second speech to sell it, right? Who you are, why do you want to work there, and what value you will be adding to the company. Work on your resume. So tomorrow we have rapid resume reviews. We have another rapid resume reviews next week, Friday. The dates are different, the times are different, and Zoom links are different. So please check them out in DiggerNet. These will be 100% virtual meetings again over Zoom. We also do drop-ins if you want like other options as well, other days, other times. We are offering drop-ins throughout the week. So make sure that it's ready. And write down your goals, your reason for being at Minds, and smile with confidence on the day off. You will do great if you feel great. If you can, please wear your career outfit before the event to feel more comfortable with, right? Because this is virtual, so they'll see you. Practice your booth approach and 30-second introduction with friends. You can do it with us as well, but please make sure that you practice it. Believe me, if you practice, you're going to feel much better. So as you can see here, one of our suggestions is researching the organization, and I would like to talk about that next. So while looking at the company and what they do, what operations are they involved with, what potential positions they have, these are other questions that you can ask, like what are they best known for? What are their key projects? What are their locations? Do they recruit on campus? What are the various divisions and subsidiaries? How do I find out this information? So please research this information because it will be part of your decision, right? Whether you want to work to them, you want to talk to them on the day off. And if yes, then it will be part of your 30-second speech why you want to work there. And then you can also produce questions to companies, right? You can look at their websites and you can create like smart questions to ask these people. Please don't ask too obvious questions that the answers are very available and visible. So we'd like you to show them that you've done your research and you know why you're applying and you have additional questions, but you have done your research. So please make sure that they understand that you have done your research and you have further questions. A couple of resources for you to research. So you can look at the Career Day program. You can look at DiggerNet, right? Events on Career Day, and then you can look at the name of the companies and you can see the company descriptions over there as well. Career Day program will not be printed out this year, but again, we will have the matrix available, which is showing companies hiring majors, company webpage, right? Info sessions. Maybe you have been to an info session with that company. Please try to include that as part of your 30-second speech, that you have done the info session, and you still want to talk to them more because you want to work there, and you can also include that conversation. If you talk to the employers or the representatives before during the info session, you can capture that. If not, you can still mention that you have been to the info session and you want to work there. Nowadays, companies put a lot of information on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube channels as well. Sometimes with YouTube channels, companies are providing more information about interviews too, for instance, how to solve some problems, etc. So utilize this resource as well. Glassdoor is a wonderful resource for you to see insider information, because employees working in companies are leaving comments about the companies, leaving comments about interview questions, etc. So this is a great resource as well. So utilize it. Google, but please be careful with Google, like if the information is reliable or not. But it's a great, wonderful resource. Award and trade journal articles are two other resources for you to research. Next, Lauren will be talking about things that you can do before the event.
Yes, so these are just a few suggestions. I mean, obviously a lot of this depends on what works well for you. But what we recommend is before Career Day, right, really work on creating what we like to call a stress-less schedule. So write down your ideal day the day before. How can you create as much of that as possible on Career Day in the days leading up to it? Like schedule some time for relaxation, maybe time to talk with friends, eat a meal, and of course, keep track of what you have to do school-wise and for Career Day, but your schedule needs to also include some breathing space, and almost importantly, just as importantly as your preparation for Career Day. Also, before the event, visualizing positive outcomes. Our brains are really well practiced at visualizing negative outcomes, because that has kept us safer, right, over time, than if we were simply just an eternal optimist. But it can also become unhelpful for something such as a job fair or career fair, when it can make you feel an inch tall when you talk with a prospective employer. So we want to practice visualizing, imagining some positive outcomes. That's something that can be taking some practice and effort, maybe even feel a little forced. And maybe your skeptical mind may not like it, like you might kind of fight it internally. But try imagining getting offers from every company you speak with. Right? Maybe this isn't realistic, but it is just as realistic as no one wanting to talk to you or employ you ever again. And the benefits are that you start to do what your mind imagines, right? So imagine speaking with confidence to someone, and when you do that, you're more likely to actually come across as confident. Just how when you imagine yourself, like when you're smiling and feeling more relaxed, you will come across smiling and more relaxed. And the last one is being your best self. And this is, I like to think of it as like being your best. You might not be the best, but what matters is how you show up, right? So write down your strengths, ask friends and family what they would say your strengths are, and think about when you have felt most confident, and reflect on what allowed you to be that best version of yourself. Right then, right? Like show up in that way. It's not about comparing yourself to others in the moment, but just doing the best that you can to be the best version of you that will help you present yourself well in the moment. And we can go to the next slide. I know there's a lot happening right before Career Day, but just as a reminder, like if you're really struggling with confidence, self-esteem, feeling anxious, overwhelmed, worried, I mean, this is an unusual time, right? Just as a reminder, the Counseling Center has a grouping of virtual offerings that are available. Like there's something every day, Monday through Friday, and we want to be a support to you. So I get that Career Day is coming up, but just as a reminder, you can find other ways to get some support now if you're really struggling today before Career Day arrives. So these are some things to look into. back to you.
Back to me. So a couple of things about logistics, right? Prepare your space. This is a virtual event, but it still needs some preparation. Um, so so a piece of paper, a notepad, a pen with you, so you can make a note, right? And then you can use these notes to ask questions, to make decisions, to use part of your follow-up emails with the company. So please make notes. It's intense. Like, I mean, maybe if you will be talking to 10, 15 companies on the day off. So at the end of the day, it is hard to remember all these details. So please write down your notes, and the system will allow you to make these notes as well. So that's great. But if you feel like you need to make notes, it's easy. Please keep it somewhere that you can, that might be available throughout the event. Keep your resume next to you as well, so you can take a look. You can even highlight some keywords that you want to cover with the company. You can keep your 30-second speech that you are willing to do with that company as well. So there are certain advantages of doing this event on a virtual setting too. So please use this advantage. There is time flexibility too, so it's easier to go between booths. Uh, you will not be juggling between two different buildings, etc. These are some advantages of having a virtual fair. So please utilize it. So let's talk about a couple of things about dress. Yes, it still matters because it's virtual, right? So whether you are doing a full-time interview or a full-time, whether you are in a full-time search or an internship search, it's different. Whether you can wear a business dress or a business casual dress. These are some suggestions. More important thing here is these are suggestions, right? It has to be something that you feel comfortable in. Uh, so we'd like you to feel comfortable on the day off. So please make your decision which one makes you more comfortable. Or is there the other option for you? At the end of the day, they're expecting you to be professional, look professional, neat and clean, but it might be a different description for you. So you are going to decide, feel comfortable, but these are some suggestions to you. I'll pause for 10 seconds here so you can take a look. And let's talk about how will you look on screen. Neutral background with good lighting is great, so please check your lighting on the day off. Well, one thing you can do is, at home, my space is not really an office, and it's not great for workshops or some more kind of serious meetings. But I changed the direction of my table. Now I'm using the wall as my background, so it's neutral, because I'm actually using my kids' room, so it doesn't really look professional, but that's how I find the workaround. So you will find yours. Dressing important business or business casual. And yes, that includes what does not show up on screen too. And please try to use an open and welcoming body language. And Lauren has a couple of things about the body posture too next.
Yeah, so I mean, some of these things we know, but it's really about practicing it. So we want to have that confident body posture. And usually when you and I do this in person, we have everyone stand up in the room and like literally practice what it feels like in your body to stand with confidence, with your shoulders back, right? Your chin up, like just like, so even, I mean, if you're wherever you are right now, like even just give yourself permission, if you can, stand up and just feel yourself standing up a little bit more confidently, right? Like it's one thing to slouch, it's one thing to be like nervous, right? But like as much as you can, stand with confidence. And we would encourage, like, I mean, it's different on a screen, but like try not to fold your arms, right? But like you can clasp your hands in front of you. If you need to fidget with something, do that in a way where it's not visual and seen, but help yourself appear confident. That actually will help you feel more confident. Practice breathing slowly and speaking clearly. When I'm nervous, I speak faster. I speak fast kind of anyways. So intentionally be thoughtful with your speech and the cadence. Slow down. And then again, smile. We've talked about this, but this is twofold. Smiling can make you more approachable, make you actually feel more relaxed. Obviously, you don't want to just plaster one to your face. That doesn't feel authentic, but try to use it as you're logging in and signing in for your next meeting with someone, right? Like approaching it. And even as you say goodbye, practice smiling then too. The 3 positive qualities, like this is about positive self-talk. And you can do this ahead of time or during, or if you're feeling just like you're beating up on yourself a little bit, remind yourself of these positive things that you bring to the table no matter what. Practice saying that to yourself or even like communicating it in the interview form so that it feels more natural during that time. Another thing you can do is bring a reminder object or have that with you at your desk. This can be something like a token or a rock that you have meaning attached to, like a reminder that you are a hard worker or of a success that you've had in the past. Something to remind you to be calm and confident in the moment can help you get out of your head sometimes by having that object. And I'll pass it back to you, Dugu.
A couple of other things or suggestions while attending the event. So we talked about this slide before. You will be able to enter the booth by clicking the enter button, and it will be important to navigate between lines, and the system will allow you to stay in the queue for multiple companies. So it's great, and there's an algorithm behind that, so you don't need to be worried about losing your line with the company. So you can wait in the lines for separate companies, and if we still have time at the end of the workshop, I will be happy to show you a 7-minute video about that. Be ready for video meetings, right? That's expected. Have your self-introduction ready and well practiced. Start with your least interested position for pitch practice, and that helps boost confidence. Take notes about your conversation with your recruiter. This will help with all follow-ups. Be prepared to interview on the spot. Sell your skills, talents, and experiences. Know your resume, especially if you have relevant experience, project experience, or skills, what they're looking for. If you have checked the internet, so you will know that, right, what they're looking for. Be ready to talk over these skills and projects as well, because this is what they're looking for, so it might be very attractive to them. Ask for contact information for later follow-up, so you can send follow-up emails. If you have any other questions, you can reach us out through the Career Center help desk. Talking about 30-second speech, it needs to include your major and level, why did you choose this major as well, extra highlights, like what's unique about you, why are you interested in this company, and wrapping it up. Smiling and good eye contact always helps, and please try to not be worried, not being worried about mistakes, as nobody's looking at a stage performance. It's okay, you don't have to be perfect, as the company is willing to know you enough that they can invite you to an interview, maybe soon, maybe at a later date, but you are just trying to give them enough material that they will want to invite you to the next round. It's okay if you are not perfect, as long as you talk about yourself, your motivation, why mines, why major, your relevant experience and skills, it will be fine. And here is a good example for you of a 30-second introduction. And for recording purposes, I would like to read it here. Hello, I'm David Liu, and I'm a junior engineering physics major at Colorado School of Mines. I chose this discipline because it is one of the majors that gives me a deep understanding of the way things work. and then great skills to apply to a variety of needs for industries from aerospace to energy and manufacturing. This summer, I had a fantastic time in our field session using oscilloscopies and vacuum equipment, and followed that with an internship where I could, in addition to my technical abilities, use my experience working with diverse teams, problem solving, and ability to be organized and detail oriented. I would like to talk with you about the company's latest project in Wyoming that I saw on your website, and the company's new emphasis on setting the industry standard in both safety and high production. I would like to actively help in reaching these goals. So if you write the full paragraph on a piece of paper, you might tend to read it, and you might even panic if you forget what's coming next, right? If I were you, I would write down the keywords and an outline so you can come up with your structure if you feel like you cannot recall it on your own. So you have the structure and outline in front of you with the keywords, and you can come up with your natural sounding sentences. You can include your strengths in your 30-second commercial, and these might be good, good, or these are the strengths that you can. There might be other strengths too. This comes from a certain questionnaire, but you can look and choose some strands from here that resonates with you. I'll do a brief pause here so you can take a look, and if you want to make a couple of notes, please feel free to do it. And next, we can talk about business verbal communication. So a good business verbal communication is described as easy to understand and with a clear diction. It is well-paced, not monotonous, warm, intimate, and vital quality, and express appropriate emotion. And if it's hard to understand and words not properly enunciated, if pace is too fast or slow, if it's cold, uncaring, or tired quality, if there's a flat expression and seen unmoved by anything, that might need some improvement. And Lauren might have a couple of things to say here as well.
Yeah, I mean, some of this it's like we know it, right? Like this is obvious, but be thoughtful with how you're presenting and how you're communicating. I think it does help sometimes to hear ourselves practice out loud, as silly as that might be, but that it actually helps us know how we sound and how that appears.
During the event, you might come across with some tough questions. So the first bullet point is very easy for me to say because I'm reading it. And again, maybe Lauren can chime in here. But don't panic. When I'm reading it, it's funny. Lauren, do you have a recommendation?
It is, I mean, I appreciate it. It's easier to say than do in the moment. I think if you do panic, right, just remind yourself, like, it's okay, I got this. Or like literally that third point down, like take a breath, like let yourself pause. The pause might feel like horrible and lengthy to you, but it might only be a second or two and they might not notice anything. But if something catches you off guard, you can always, and some of these questions down here too, like ask them to repeat the question, like buy yourself a little time, say, I need to get a drink of water, just give me 1 second. Or can you say that again? I didn't quite catch it. Like you're allowed to kind of buy yourself a little time. But part of it is if you do feel caught off guard, and I mean, try to remind yourself it's okay. Like that's going to happen sometimes, but take a breath, remind yourself, I can still do this. I can handle this. Even if I'm feeling like, whoa, that was a tough question, or I don't know if I answered it right. You want to keep going and keep in the interview, in the process. And it is a little bit about some distress tolerance, like being able to handle what maybe feels uncomfortable. Keep breathing and remind yourself, like, it's okay. That would be, I mean, but you're right. These things they're way easier to say here today than when it actually happens. You might feel a little thrown off guard, but you can regain your composure and keep going.
Great suggestions. Thank you. And one more thing maybe I can recommend is you can use, if there's a pause that you cannot make an answer immediately, or if you feel like you have an answer but you feel stressed and it's not out there yet, then maybe you can use this as an opportunity to say once more, I know I have the answer, but this is a very important opportunity for me. I really, really believe that this is the best fit for me, and I believe I will add too much value to your organization. And that's why I think I'm feeling a little bit nervous and I don't have an answer to this question right now. But you can even ask if they can revisit this question, or even if you don't have an answer during the event, but if you can come up with a better one after the event, that's fine. You can cover it in your follow-up email as well.
Okay, so a few more tips for during the event. Right, we want, just like we were talking about, we want you to be kind to yourself. This is a huge task and it's already stressful enough, right? So we want to try to not beat ourselves up the whole time. Reframe, rethink these tough questions. It's okay to own what you don't know and talk about what you do and how you look forward to explaining your knowledge or to expanding it and learning and growing with this company. You can be curious in return. It's okay to be challenged, right? Like it can be worthwhile to even feel out in the interview, like how is this situation, is this setting, does this company feel like it would be challenging and supportive to me? It's okay to not know everything as you're going in. Again, focus on your breathing. And this, I mean, this is huge, right? Like when we're nervous or stressed, we usually breathe more shallowly. And then that sends signals to our body and our brains that something isn't okay. And then we start to maybe sweat, or our hands get clammy, our words get jumbled. But right, if you can focus on your breathing, it can help slow you down. It actually can help you be more creative and more clear. And this concept of 3 paced breaths really means just 3 slower rhythmic breaths. Even if you can do a brief breathing exercise before you start your interviews or your process, that can actually help you feel more confident. And the slower the breath out, the exhale, it actually helps calm your nervous system down so you can think more clearly. So there's research and science behind why this is helpful, and it sounds simple, but maybe actually give it a try and see how it helps you. And then during that, again, we've touched on this, but smile, right? Recall your personal strengths. Beating up on yourself for maybe missing a question or feeling rushed or doing something that's actually not going to help you feel more confident. You can thank your brain for reminding you of your areas of growth, but also let yourself remember your strengths because you are probably going to be doing a really good job. Go to the next slide. And then after the event, this is really important too. Sometimes we spend all of our energy preparing for the event, but what are you going to do once your time is done, right? And so what we'd like to suggest is make a plan. This can be a really good way to challenge our nervous energy or feeling really yucky after something of what we all didn't do perfect or all our mistakes, right? But literally make a plan for after the event, write some of that plan down. So much of the jitters that we feel come from our brain wanting to do something about a stressor, right? So creating a plan for your next steps can really help smooth out and soothe those career day jitters. I would also challenge you to specifically name one thing you did well. Not perfect, but one thing you're I nailed that, or that felt really good, or that went well for me. Let yourself actually recall that. Try hard not to dwell on the negatives. We can always learn. There's ways to improve, yes. But could you maybe also dwell on some of the positives and maybe take a lesson for the future? What is something maybe that you're oh, I'd like to work on that for next time? Then let that be your takeaway. Do take a break, whatever it is. Maybe you have to hop into class, or I guess there's no classes this year, right? Yeah. Whatever you have to do, maybe you have to go to work. Maybe you have something that you have to rush off to, but if you can, even a 5-second break, just to breathe, just to take a walk outside, do something to treat yourself, help switch gears. And maybe that means doing something you enjoy, going for a bike ride, going for a hike, going to get a cup of coffee or tea, something that can just help you celebrate your successes and give yourself a moment to acknowledge what you just accomplished. Do the next slide. This is again a reminder of resources. There's a ton that the Career Center is offering, so take advantage. Thank you for being here today, but take advantage of if there's more that you might want or need. And then keep these other options in mind. Counseling Center is one thing. There's Active Minds at Minds. There's peer educators. Like there's tons of great stuff. You at Minds. So if like you're having other stress, which is understandable, right? And during this particular semester, just it's okay to have support and reach out for support. I literally just came from a training right before this talking about how we practice self-care in times like this, and it is hard. So let these supports be a support to you if that's something you're finding you might need. We all can benefit from that. And just as a reminder, it's actually a strength to reach out and ask for help.
And last but not least, please don't forget to send your follow-up emails. The system allows you to track the contacts and the notes in the system. Or also you can make notes the old way, right? But please do send follow-up emails to the employers that you talked with. So take their emails and send personalized, separate messages to them all, whoever you talked with. And there is a sample email or follow-up email in the Minds strategy. It is our career day. It's our career resource that lives in the Minds Career Center website under Students Resources. So we still have some time, and I think we'll still have time for Q&A too. Now that I found you here, I would like you to show our quick 7-minute Brazen video. So I'll stop share for a brief moment. Okay, it's coming.
Hello, and welcome to the Colorado School of Mines virtual career fair demo. Today we're going to be taking you through the Brazen platform to help show some of the functionality of the platform to help prepare you for the virtual career fairs that we will be having this fall. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We've built a basic event here with a couple of employers. Now understand that during the actual event, there will be over 100 employers here in this lobby, but for the purposes of our demo, we have 2. Also, we want to point out that there will be a Career Center help booth during the actual events, and that will be the very first booth in the lobby of all of the events. You can enter that booth to chat with Career Center reps if you have any questions or any issues during the event. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is the view that you will see when you enter the event. This is the virtual lobby. Again, it'll list out all of our employers that are attending the fair that day, and you can scroll through, examine who is attending, and enter the actual booths. We also want to look at the search function here, which is another important function within the Brazen platform. So I'm going to go up here to search booths, and this will allow me to search booths based on a variety of different options. So in the basic search, we can search the booth by name. So if I want to look for Lockheed Martin, if I'm looking for guitar companies, I can type in guitar, but it's only going to search by that name field. Most of you will end up using the advanced search more. When we go to the advanced search, We can then, by this drop down box here, search under any of the different searchable tags that the different booths can have. So I can search by company name. I can search by employment type. So again, if I'm down here and I know I want an internship, I can look for the companies that have tagged internship, or if it's full-time, I can look for full-time. And I can search by my major. So again, let's say here, if I'm a computer science major in this example, I could go and search and see, oh, we have one company looking for computer science. Hit apply, and I can see, oh, Gretsch Guitars is looking for computer science majors. Now, obviously, in the event with over 100 employers, there'll be many more tags that will be searchable. We also will be including organizational sponsorships where companies can list what organizations they sponsor on campus. Now, the other nice thing that you can do within the search function here in the Brazen platform is you can select to chat with booths through the search function. So if I know I want to chat with Lockheed Martin, I don't even need to enter their booth. I can just click this toggle, and now I'm waiting to chat for Lockheed Martin. Within the Brazen platform, you can wait to chat with multiple booths at the same time. The system has an algorithm that will keep your place in line at different booths and connect you when you're available. So don't be afraid to be waiting in line for multiple booths at a time. So now let's go ahead. I'm going to cancel my wait here for Lockheed. Let's go ahead and actually enter a booth. So now we'll enter the Gretsch Guitar booth here. All I need to do is click enter, and that'll take me into that booth. So we can see to get in line with chat, all I need to do is go up here and click this chat button. Before I do that though, I am going to go through and look at some of the different features I can look at here in the booth. So there'll be a home screen here, or a home tab for each booth, where the organization can include any information they would like. There also is an opportunities tab. If I click this, this is where the different organizations can share opportunities with the attendees in the event. Here you can see that the creators of the Gretsch Guitars booth are looking to hire software engineers for Hollywood, California. Looks like the Gretsch might have a spelling error there, but this is a clickable link. This can either take you to their website where you can apply to the position, or it may route you back to DiggerNet and have one of the listings in DiggerNet where you can apply there as well. The About Us is where an organization can include really whatever they want. So here we can see Gretsch included a brief video here on the history of Gretsch Guitars, as well as some text. Now at any time, while I'm in the booth exploring here, I can click that I want to chat, and we're going to go ahead and do that now to get in line to chat. So it is asking me what position I'm interested in. I'm going to say I'm interested in the software engineer position. Now we can see here that because there was no one else waiting in line, I was immediately connected with one of the booth reps. In this case, Katie Armstrong. Now Katie is a Career Center employee. She's serving as a booth rep here for this demonstration. So first, when I enter the booth, it connects me in a text chat. So I'm going to go ahead and say hello here to Katie. Now, as I'm waiting for Katie to respond, some of you may be asking, well, if I'm waiting here, what if I'm waiting in other booths as well? So the system will automatically pause you in those other booths, so you don't have to worry about getting pulled out from one booth to the other. So we can see Katie here responded, hello, Jim, welcome to Gretsch Guitar Company booth. Would you like to video chat? And I'm going to write, sure. So here we can see Katie has invited me to chat. I'm going to accept. And it takes us over to the video chat function. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
So this would be your opportunity to chat with the booth rep, just like you would at a physical career fair. You can still do the text chat. If for whatever reason, if you're having a technical issue or your camera, your audio is not working, your microphone's not working, you can still do that text chat. So thank you very much, Katie. We're going to end the chat now. Now, when you end the chat, it gives you the opportunity to enter a final thought. This is a message that you're going to send to the representative that you just chatted with. So it is optional, it's not required, but if you realize, oh, I forgot to tell the rep something that, I'm only available during certain dates because I have field session this summer, whatever it is, or I can just say, thank you for chatting. It also allows you to rate your interaction with that representative. This is only visible to you because you are able to go back into the system after it ends. If you want to go back and try to figure out, oh, which company did I like, which rep did I like, or which one didn't I like, you can go back and look at your rating system. I'm going to give Katie 4 stars here because I think she did pretty good. And finally, we have our notes. So again, this is only visible for you. So you can put, whatever notes you want for yourself. So I can put send email to Katie, or whatever notes I want to put there for myself to remind myself what are my next steps with this organization. I click finished, and there it ends the chat. Now I'm back available to be in other queues to enter other booths.